Hey, class, my name is Ken Kenkuli. I'm the lead trainer for the Media Lab class. Welcome to our first guest trainer session. We are happy and honored to host one of our alumni. I think it would be interesting for him to introduce himself. Welcome, alumni. So tell us who you are, what you do.
Thank you, Ken. My name is George Usiri. Currently an art director and motion designer working at Scan Group. And yeah, that's basically what I do at the moment.
Thank you very much, George. George is, like I said, an alumni of NairoBits. I've had the pleasure of training George a very, very long time ago. We are now very, very old people. Some of us should not be trainers anymore. But welcome back, George, and it's happy to have one of our former students always coming back and sharing. Talking about being a student. So tell us a little bit about your life before NairoBits and maybe when you joined NairoBits. How did you know about NairoBits and how did your journey in NairoBits go?
So I think my journey in NairoBits obviously started in course one, I think around 2015 or 14. And I just finished my Form 4. And apparently at the time we weren't financially able to for me to go to college. So I got a C+, but I needed a cutoff. I think I missed the cutoff point by one point. So I couldn't join university, and we were also not financially capable. So my mom decided I'll just stay home at the moment and try to figure things out. And that's where a guy by the name Eugene, I think, recommended NairoBits and told me to give it a shot, and something might happen. So I went to Kariobangi. Yeah, I went to Kariobangi. And at the time there was, you needed to sign your name before. So they already had the names of the guys who were supposed to be interviewed, and I wasn't in the list. And so I found a guy by the name Leo at Kariobangi. I think, what's it called? I can't remember. Yeah, Yike. Jesus, so long. And so Leo was at the reception. And so
still there.
When I told him, he's still there.
Yes.
Oh my, hey, it's been long, yeah. Hey, so Leo was at the reception, and I was like, I'm here for an interview, and he said, your name is not on the list, obviously, so you can't be here for the interview. And so the next thing to do obviously was to go home. But I told him I need this chance. I need this opportunity. And so I just sat there, basically. So I just defied everything and just sat there. And when everyone was leaving, because the interview hadn't started, and even so the guys who were on the list started leaving because they were told the interview might start a bit late. So I had the option of going home and come back, but I decided to just sit there. I sat there over lunch, and then so Leo just told me, just come and write your name. Yeah. And yeah, that's how I got my first interview. I was interviewed by Christopher Chege and Stella Pash. Yeah. So that's how I came to know about NairoBits. Rather, I enrolled to NairoBits.
What experiences would you share about your, now that you had now applied and you joined NairoBits? What are some of your experiences? Course 1, course 2, Media Lab.
Yeah, so course 1 was a bit, I really enjoyed my course 1 because it wasn't taught by just one trainer. It was taught by a few people. I think course 1 was taught by, I think it was Ken, and I can't remember this guy's name, but he had some, it's not David Mwangi, it's another guy who had, I think his name is Nana. So he used to come and he had actually finished. So he used to come and just give us tips on what to do. Yeah. So Nana, I don't know his second name, but he has dreadlocks, and his name was Nana. Yeah, so my course 1 was really, really informative in terms of building the foundation to what I currently know. Course 1 was really, really it was really important. I wouldn't take it for granted. It's where I learned my basics. It's where I carried some of the skills that I know now to the workplace. So it was really informative. Um, I I think you're on mute.
Sorry. So you went through. Sorry for that. You went through the journey, and you made it to the
Yeah.
Media Lab class, the senior.
Yeah.
Today we are talking to the Media Lab students. What would
Mm-hmm.
you tell them about your last class? What challenges did you face when you were there? What given the opportunity, what would you do differently?
For me, I think this is the whole course. I'm just media lab.
You can share openly, however you think. But the
Um,
class you're talking to today is the Media Lab.
so I think for me in media lab, I was very focused on design, and I wish I had done at least a bit of code to like complement what I knew about the few things I knew at the moment about web design. And that up to now I think still haunts me because I really wanted to learn a bit of code, but I never got the opportunity. Although I'm glad I did choose design, I wanted to do at least a bit of code, especially JavaScript. Yeah, so at least understand a bit of JavaScript. The same way I understand a bit of HTML and CSS, I would have loved to do a bit of JavaScript to like accentuate what I know about aesthetics so that I can build on the web as well. So that for me was something I could have done, but unfortunately didn't get the time.
Okay. What are some of the tricks that you managed to succeed with when you were in the Media Lab?
Oh, yeah. I think the one that I was mostly proud of was so when we were paired at the Media Lab so we were paired a designer and a developer
Mm-hmm.
to like create your portfolio. And I remember every developer was swamped, and there were things I needed, some interactions I needed in my portfolio that I know I would obviously the developer might end up hating me. So I ended up planning a program, not even a program. It was an online tool called Webflow. It's really amazing for any designer who like wants to like build websites. Please like have a look at Webflow. It's really amazing. And that's what I used to build my portfolio with. And yeah, so I'm really proud of that. I've actually used that at the workplace as well. Current and also my first work, I used a bit of Webflow.
Oh, okay. Given the opportunity to now that you're here talking to the students, I'm sure that the vision of where you are right now versus where you are as a student has changed. Did the vision, this is like a reflect of where you saw yourself as a student when you were in the Media Lab versus where you are now? Is there and the students right now at the Media Lab, some of them have the challenge of choosing their specialization, like should I say the doubting stage where is design really it? Is development really it? Do you regret that design direction? Yes, you've said that the JavaScript thing, but what helped you come at peace by saying, you know what, design is it for me, and this is what are some of the things that you went through in your mind to help you come to terms with choosing design?
I think for me, regardless of what they end up choosing, if it's a developer or a designer, unfortunately, if you don't like put in the work in each discipline, you're only as good as the time you put in. The 10,000 hours things. If you put 10,000 hours in something, you definitely excel. Same applies to coding or design. In my case, I was extremely fortunate to like know what I wanted even before we got to Media Lab. I only knew I wanted to do design. The same case, there were people we had in class who had like they had plan Bs. So in the case where we were in media lab, there are people who had plan Bs in the sense of, if this doesn't work, I'll probably go and do a course. Unfortunately, I didn't have plan B, so I really had to like put all my energy into this one thing, understand the ins and outs. So regardless of what you end up choosing, unfortunately, if you don't put in the hours to teach yourself, that's an incredible skill you need to learn, teaching yourself. If you don't put in the hours, unfortunately, it will all be in vain. So you actually have to put in the hours for it to succeed, in my opinion.
Great. Maybe just one follow-up one. You know, some of the reasoning that the students use for choosing their specialization is always, let me choose this one now, and then maybe in future I can go and study that next specialization. Considering that NairoBits didn't teach you anything about motion graphics, is it working out for you? Is it easy? Would you say it's manageable?
I would say if you're at a workplace that treasures you being adventurous and showcasing your skills, obviously, like, there's anything monetary out of it. Video editing, and I was bad at it. In my first job, I learned a bit of it. Just in your pursuit of actually building the skills, I think it's important you understand that some of these things will have to come without a monetary aspect of it. You won't get any kickback in the beginning. You'll probably get in the end. At least I can say for now, I do both fairly well. So you have to actually kind of gauge where you'd be given those opportunities. You'd be self-initiative as well. So you have self-initiative. Yeah. So I would say that's about it.
That's about it. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll end our first part there as we take a breather and look into the next section of our interview. Thank you, George. Coming back in a few.
You're welcome.